We must preach this very gospel. We are back once again. We are back on all our platforms. We are back and we are preaching the gospel of the Most High. As I was saying earlier, before the crude interruption once again this evening, we want to prove to them that we have a never say die attitude. Our attitude is never say die. This evening, I am going to preach this very gospel that I have been mandated to preach, and nothing is going to stop it. Even if it means having no calls this evening, so be it. But I must preach this very gospel. It must be preached, and humanity must hear us. They must hear us. There is nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing. We must preach this very gospel. And I will proceed. As I was saying, Ahmad Lawan is the president of the Zoo Senate. They are asking people to leave the streets. How can they leave the streets when there is no resolution of the issue? And I must tell those who are protesting, the brave men and women who are out on the streets, risking their lives, those who are in hospitals, remember, if you lose this opportunity, it will never come again. This is your only chance to catalog and to tabulate all your grievances and your demands. If you abandon this very effort, anybody coming out tomorrow, they will say no, that they are not serious, that we can buy them out, we can outstay them, so to speak. They will employ the same tactics of getting their thugs, getting their Senate president, talking rubbish all the time, and you go back home. If you abandon the streets now, you are finished. You are never, ever, ever going to be able to survive again. All our platforms should be working. The person responsible for YouTube should please try and switch it back on again. Try and switch it back on again. We are live and we are continuing this evening. They think they will do this and then we'll abandon what we are doing. They are mad. We are going to preach this very gospel this very evening. And the whole world must understand. Facebook can remove as many people as they like. I have told you, if they remove you, you go to IPOB Community Radio. Anytime they remove you, you go to IPOB Community Radio, go to Radio Biafra, go to Tuning, go to Simple Radio, go to Sweet Radio, and also go to Radio Garden. In all these places, you will be able to participate. They are now saying that everywhere is more stable now. We told them we are going to fix it, and we have done so, and we're going to preach this very gospel. So do not leave the streets. Once you abandon the streets, you are finished. You are gone. You can no longer reclaim the initiative. And the zoo will come in many ways. They will beg you to abandon this very effort. Once you say no, they will threaten you. You will say no, they will try to impose restrictions and measures on you. Once you still say no, you are not going to give in, you are not going to capitulate, you are not going to cave in, believe you me. Their last resort is to call the army. But I can tell you from the messages I've been receiving from service personnel in the Nigerian army today, when they leave their barracks, no soldier from the Middle Belt, none from the South, will fire at the protesters. I just got the confirmation this very evening from a very high-ranking officer. They told me that they are following everything that is happening and that they are listening to Radio Biafra. That if they are asked to go out on the streets to kill the protesters, that they will not do it. That was the confirmation that I got this very evening before coming on air. So be rest assured that nothing is going to happen. And as I have told them, if the army comes out, then IPOB will also come out to make sure that those who are protesting are defended. Those who are protesting, they must be defended. They must be defended. And we are going to do so. Therefore, this protest will continue unabated until the results begin to trickle in. Rather than asking them or saying, we are going to ban you, you should try and accede to their demands. It's as simple as that. This evening, I'm bringing you news that the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja has banned protests. They have banned protests, yes, because it is not favoring them. You see the way they behave, the Janjaweed. Abuja is baggy land. People in Abuja are listening this very evening. It is a baggy land. It doesn't belong to Fulani. It doesn't belong to the Janjaweed. They must rise up now. I'm not even talking about the end SARS protesters. People must rise up now and tell those in Federal Capital Territory that it is the Wagi people, that the Wagi nation that owns Abuja and not Fulani Janjaweed. Now is the time to do it. All of you who are in Abuja, who have been claiming marginalization for very many years, go out now on the streets and support those who are fighting for you, those brave men and women who are on the streets fighting. Go and support them. You must go to support them. Very, very important. Very, very critical. Very, very critical. You must do that. The Federal Capital Territory Security Committee has banned the SARS. Who are you? You, on one hand, you're claiming that to protest is a constitutionally guaranteed right. On the other hand, you're banning it. For you to ban protest, you must go to court. The court of law must interpret it. You don't have the power to just rise up, because what they are doing has been enshrined in law. It is a law. It is a lawful undertaking. It is a lawful undertaking. If you want to ban it, that is the thing about foreign, they don't understand the law. They have no idea what the law or the purpose a law is supposed to serve. You just rise up in the morning. We have resolved after meeting that we are going to ban it. They want to intimidate you. This is the second phase of their attack. They will attack you 4 times. If you remain strong after the 4th attack, you have won. They will call your mother, they will call your father, they will call everybody, bring them back home. They will go and pay people like Issa Sage, that idiot, that APC idiot. You will see them on, they will even buy over some news editors, some journalists. That is how black people behave. They will buy them over and say to them, why don't you try and come back home and let's reason together. The same old garbage. That is why you are unemployed. That is why your parents suffered and sent you to school. You graduated and there is no job. Let us reason together, and nothing is coming out of it. Now is the time to bring about that change you have been yearning for as a child. Every day you complain, Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is bad. Now is the time to go on the streets. If you cannot go out, bring out food, bring out puff, bring out bread. Support people who are protesting. Support those young people. They are the key to your future. These are the things they must understand. People, we are getting a report that protesters are being taken in places like Obomo Show, and they were packed into a police van and taken to an unknown destination. And people must stop the arrest of their fellow protesters. That is how it is done. You don't allow them to arrest anybody. Don't allow them to. Because if you do, you're finished. What they will keep doing is keep trying your resolve. Every blessed day, they will keep trying your resolve. But you must say no. You must say no. They want to head you the same way they head cattle. You know, when a bookie comes and is hitting the cattle, she's hitting the cattle with stick. Cattle will go here, cattle will go. They think you're a cattle. They think they can head you towards any direction of their choice. The people in Abuja saying that they are banning it, people should go and blockade their offices. Blockade their office, they cannot get in. That is how you conduct yourself in a revolution. That is how it is going to be done. If you leave it and go away, in the next 5,000 years, nothing will happen in the zoo. The Fulani would have won. They will introduce their Ruga. They will introduce their highway for cattle. Every nonsense, they will pass it and you cannot do anything about it. Now is the time to stand very strong and very firm to say enough is enough. We have had enough. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. If you do it now, believe you me, it is all over. It is all over. Everything you want in your life will come to fruition. This evening we are live and we are direct and we are preaching this very gospel that we have been mandated by heaven to preach. They are ending, they want the SARS campaign to end, but they are opening NYSC camps. After going to your NYSC, you come out and they will kill you. They are opening NYSC camps. That is what they are doing. But you claim that because of COVID-19 that people should not come out to protest. Who told you that? George Lloyd was killed at the height of COVID-19. People came out to protest. Americans are still there. The USA is still there till tomorrow morning. It hasn't collapsed. It hasn't fallen. Talk less of COVID-19 that is afraid of black people in Africa. Who told you that? This is Fulani Janjaweed. They have ganged up. They have called everybody. Governor Kowa. They have called their governor, their friends, in the hope of keeping Nigeria together. Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State. They unleashed their talks. Did not work. Now let us ban them in Abuja and see if it is going to work. These are the same politicians that some of you idiotically will be following left, right, and center and campaigning for. These are the people you campaigned for. You put them in power. Look at all those governors you voted for. Look at them, with the exception of Muike and one or two other governors that came out and spoke very well. Not the chameleon Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. He is a chameleon, an APC chameleon. His father, his godfather, Tinubu came out and told him, oh, why don't you do something? I want to contest for presidency. Because of Tinubu's presidency, people must die. They went and brought talks from Mushi. These are your so-called politicians that you're hating. That is the reason why before now I kept castigating black people. But because of what the young people are now doing in the zoo, I'm going to be very lenient with them to see where they will end up, because I want them to succeed. We want their lives to be better. I want them to have a brighter future, a brighter tomorrow, not just for themselves, but for their children, even those unborn. Look at your so-called politicians. Look at them and see what they're doing. And you will be thoroughly ashamed of this zoological republic. You are opening you're opening youth service camps. Because what you want to do is that they are reasoning, so some of them are graduates, and they are maybe first batch, second batch, third batch. Why don't we open NYSC? The same monetary inducement. Because of that alawi, you will be receiving your allowance of 20,000 naira. They want you to think about, you see how wicked they are. They want you to think about only 20,000 naira, and because of that, abandon your civic God-given responsibility to save yourself from doom. The same money. They will come with money. They will come with soft threats. They will come with intimidation. They will unleash police. Finally, the army will come. Once the army comes and we stand and we defeat them, it is over. Final. Chicken now. Infinito, it is gone. Life will no longer be the same again in Nigeria. It is changed forever and ever. So be prepared for it. They are going to come. You must remain resolute. You must remain determined, because they are going to come. They will come. That is who they are. You're ending protests in Abuja because of COVID-19. But meanwhile, you're opening NYSC camp in the same Abuja. So those who are protesting can now go to NYSC and say they're serving their land, their motherland, their fatherland. They salute the green, white, green flag. The same green, white, green flag that killed their brother, their cousin, their friend, their nephew. You want them to go and serve under the same flag. Fulani, they think they're smart. But we are smarter than they are. If COVID-19 is a problem, then do not open orientation camps. They are now saying orientation camps to reopen on November 10, federal government. What, are you in a dictatorship? What sort of nonsense is this? Every blessed day they wake up and make an announcement. There is no due process, there is no legal precedent, nothing. Because you are under the spell of Janjaweedism. And we are curing you of that illness. That disease, we are curing you of that. Because the zoo, if you allow it to stand, you will die. You will fall. You see that the zoo falls or you fall. You must understand that. Instead of them to say, oh, let us try and listen to their demands. Let us try and see what these young people are saying, if there is merit. Of course, there is merit in it. If there is no merit in it, because when somebody does good, I praise them. You do bad and you get the treatment from us. Today, I must say that after our morning broadcast today, Obiano came out and did something that I personally never expected him to do. This is how politicians behave, or should behave. You react to the people. But now that I'm going to say something nice about him today, maybe tomorrow now he will be worse than he was before. Because after our program this very morning, and after extensive commentary and trailing of that very James Nwafọ, the evil SARS in Okuzo, Obiano today sacked James Nwafọ as his personal security, his senior special aide on security. And he said he is going to grant the demands of the Anambra youths that stormed government house. I hope the demand doesn't mean calling one or two people by the side and giving them money. That is what they always do. The nationwide protest against police brutality today claimed its major victim when the governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano, sacked former commanding officer of the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS in Okozu, CSP James Nwafo. He's now retired, who has been repeatedly mentioned in the media for his high-handedness against suspects in custody and unspeakable violations of human rights. Obiano went further to say that this same Nwafo is going to face the law. I never believed in my life that will come on air to say that Obiano has done something nice. But that's what I'm doing tonight. That this is how people who have been elected into offices should be behaving. Not in a patronizing way, but to look at the cold, hard facts and take decisions. The evidence against James Nwafo is overwhelming. He also announced the setting up a special panel headed by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to document all human rights violations and abuses by SARS with a view to getting justice for the victims and bringing closure to old injuries. This is how a politician is supposed to talk in any civilized society. I can't believe I'm saying this about Obiano, but we'll leave him to continue because SARS was responsible for Mpo massacre as well. So we are waiting. It's not just to make this promise. We want this very panel to be set up within 14 days. Within 14 days. He has an opportunity now to remedy all the wrongs that he has done. He must set up this very panel of inquiry within 14 days. We asked Ugwuanyi in Enugu to set up an inquiry. That hasn't happened till this very day. He must set up one immediately. You're talking about SARS, the same SARS that went to Emene and shot people dead. There has to be an inquiry in Enugu. So those in Enugu must continue protesting. You must continue to come out to protest until a panel of inquiry is set up. The same way that Anambra is trying to do. And all those who are in Lagos, in Abuja, all the major cities who are protesting, you must continue. There must be a commission of inquiry set up in Abuja. All the major TV networks will be there to broadcast this live so that the world can see what people have been suffering and saying for very many decades. There must be an open trial of everybody involved in extrajudicial killings and in high-handed abuse of power and, of course, trampling on your human rights. That is the only way to cure the problem. Imagine if people in Anambra sat at home today. Do you think Obiano would have said this? No. People went out en masse and besieged government house. He came out and he spoke the same way that Wike spoke the other day. Although that there are still some IPOB family members illegally detained in Iguacha, in Rivers State. And I'm asking the Rivers State, what they call the Prosecutor General in Rivers State, to do the needful and follow an example. SARS Okozo has been closed. We need an audit. How many people did you kill inside the SARS Okozo? How many people died there? Who appointed James Nwafo? Who oversaw James Nwafo? Who was in power in Anambra State when James Nwafo was slaughtering innocent people? Are they the same people that are now asking us to vote for them to become president? When they were there, Nwafo was slaughtering innocent people and they did nothing. So this is a step in the right direction. If you do good, of course, we are going to praise you. If you do bad, of course, we shred you. That is the way we are. Obiano has done very well. But he should move ahead and establish this judicial panel within 14 days to look into the activities of SARS. Of course, his statement was well measured, but we are going to hold him to it. You just don't come out and say these things and think people will forget. These are just one words. No, we are going to hold him accountable. The family of victims must come out before the whole world to narrate to the hearing of the public what these evil people did, like James Nwafo, with the bodies of those that they killed. It's not just that they killed them. What did he do with the bodies? of the people that you killed. It's an abomination in our land to kill anybody and take the body away without giving them proper burial. Where are their bones? The families are asking. They are asking SARS all across Nigeria, where are the dead bodies of our children? For goodness sake. They're asking you we are banning protest. Who are you, Fulani Janjaweed in Abuja, to ban protest? Others may have indulged you. These are young people who are very angry and highly upset. They are not going to listen to you. Bring out that army. That thing you want, you will see it. That zoo will fall before your eyes. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Obiano should set this thing up as quickly as possible. Let this not be the usual warm words that they offer anytime they are under siege. The same goes for all SARS operations across Nigeria. When will this audit? Some people are saying, oh, go back home. The government said they are going. Can you imagine they are going to? You know, when we were very young, there is a saying, when we are young adults in those days, you know, I will say it in Igbo language so people can translate. Nambozo one here. That's what they used to say where we come from. When you are talking to a girl and she will say, oh, that day you buy Fanta, you buy biscuit, Malta biscuit, you buy Fanta, you buy Coke, Malta biscuit and chewing gum. And she say, oh, leave me, I'm going, I will come back next week. You know it's over, it's not going to happen. Something is going to happen here. When they promise you, when politicians promise you, oh, don't worry, we will. It's not going to happen anymore. We don't believe in we will. There is nothing like we will. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing like we will. What is happening is that you must do to convince the people, because they've been waiting. They've been killing and killing and killing. Oh, we will investigate. The Senate is sitting. There will be a report. There will be process. There will always will. Imagine a politician promising you something. It's like a lady in those days telling you, I'm going to come back next week. She's not coming back anything. Your transport fare is gone. You must understand these things. That is the way it works. That is the way it works. As somebody have said, Facebook must also ban themselves for anti-community whatever garbage. Community rules. They should ban themselves as well. And SARS. End all the detention centers. You are asking people to leave the streets. Have you audited all the detention centers to make sure there are no SARS facilities available? The answer is no. When will the auditing of SARS detention facilities take place? Without undertaking the most vital thing that the protesters must demand is an audit of every SARS detention facility. How many people did they kill? Where are their dead bodies? Before you even talk about people leaving the streets. You cannot get to the bottom of all these issues until what happened to these people are ascertained. This is the last chance to rescue what is left of their future. This is the very last chance to rescue what is left of the future of our children. And you're asking them to go in. And how the tables have turned. When Sanwo-Olu addressed the protesters the other day, I thought he was a very sensible man, a very reasonable man. But when the Fulani Janjaweed summoned him to come to Abuja for them to strategize, I knew that there was something wrong. Sanwo-Olu is now busy. Sanwo-Olu is the governor of Lagos State. The same idiot talking about democracy, talking rubbish all the time. These are the people that want their master, Tinubu, to go and become president. If you're behaving like this against protesters, how? Look at the way that Obiano behaved. If you're behaving this way, is this how you want to be president of Nigeria? Is this it? I don't know what is wrong with these people. Sanwo-Olu, from speaking like a human being, he went to Mushi and rented thugs. He went to Mushi and rented thugs. These are Bola Ahmed Tinubu's thugs in Mushi. This is the man that wants to be the president of Nigeria. This was the same man that called for a revolution during his Nadeko days. Tinubu, have you forgotten? You were in Nadeko. You were calling for revolution in Nigeria. As a Nadeko chieftain, you went on exile. Tinubu, you went on exile because you called for a revolution. Now people are rising up to say that the killing of their children, of their siblings, of their brothers, their sisters is not good, and you're unleashing thugs on them. Shame on all of you. You are unleashing thugs on them. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. Very, very sad indeed. Shame on each and every one of you who are supporting this evil. Thugs. These are young people. So they will say there is a clash between the two groups. And because of that, police move in, army move in, shoot everybody. That's what they want to do. And I trust people in Lagos. Anytime, I don't even want to talk about the Akpo 6. I don't want to talk about it. That one is, we will get, let us get one for first, in handcuffs, answering questions in a court of law. Then we go to Akpo 6. We'll come to that later. When Akpo 6 happened, had what is happening now with the youths happened then, all the years of SARS killing wouldn't have happened. But they killed Igbo people, Akpo 6, in Abuja. Everybody went quiet. Everybody went quiet. They took their money as usual. They bribed those that they can bribe. Money exchanged hands, and nothing came of it. And that gave SARS the impetus to go on killing. If you want to know about the industrial scale killings of SARS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad, is started after the Akpo 6. They saw that nothing happened. The same way that the Buhari died, buried in Saudi Arabia, they brought somebody, put mask on his face. Before it was Jubril al-Sudani. After Jubril left, ran away from Cuba, they now brought Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar. And you kept quiet. They realized how stupid people were. They said, okay, so you people are this foolish. You don't know anything. You are blind. You cannot see. They have now gone from impunity to impunity with greater degree of consistency. Because you did nothing. When they killed the Akpo 6, everybody kept quiet. Because they're Igbo people. The Yorubas didn't know it was coming to them. Some people from the north never knew it was coming to them. It has now affected everybody. You are now shouting the same thing that happened to Juku, the same thing that IPOB was talking about. When we are saying all these things, when we say things and we discuss them and we say them, you must take it seriously at that time. If you had risen up when those Igbo people were killed, young people in Abuja were killed and robbed by Nigerian police, if you had risen up, there would be no way, there is no way that SARS could have done what they did. But you all kept quiet. That is how life is. That is how life is. You must understand it very, very clearly. So they must remain on the streets, please. Very, very important until we get to the bottom of all these issues. Because not only that, people are saying, even as the protest is going on, SARS is still killing people. And you want them to stop. I can't understand. I can't understand the mentality of some black people. I don't understand it. You must. People are now telling them you must expose all those policemen who are killing protesters. Who are killing protesters? You must expose them. According to the governors of the 36 states of the Federation, they have warned the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, against shielding erring policemen who killed protesters across the country from persecution. But as this news was breaking, they were also telling you that northern governors are against the closure or the disbandment of SARS. That is how they are, the zoo, confused. Anybody can be bought over at any time. That is why, there was a news I read here, very, very funny, very, very interesting. They said somebody went to, a known person went to Abuja to address the protesters, and the protesters drove him away. The protesters, they drove him away. They now understand that people want to hijack what is happening. They want to make name with it, to say they are part of it. They go and cut a deal and plan to run as a president or God knows what the next minute. No, people are now sensible. Do you see the work that Radio Biafra has accomplished? Oh, what have you achieved? What have you done? Have you now seen it? People are now saying no. People's eyes are now open. People are now reasoning with their brains. Can't you say the work we have done? Or should I say the work that Elohim Chukwu Kikabiama has done through IPOB? Can you see that people are now reasoning like IPOB? They may not be IPOB, but they're now reasoning the same way that we do. That was why I called them brave and gallant. They are now reasonable. They are no longer animals. They have now graduated into being human beings. But we are praying that they don't get dragged back into the animal kingdom. That they will remain with the living. that they will remain with reasonable human beings. They have been warned. You are not going to shield all those responsible for the killing of protesters. Anybody asking protesters to stop, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. It cannot stop until you meet their demands. Because in the past, after Accord 6, there will be an inquiry. Something will be done. No, today, no officer is in prison. All the officers that killed all those young people, they are free, moving about. Every time there is killing, don't worry. There will, always will, W-I-L-L. There will be inquiry. There will be this. There will be that. Nothing happens. Now you're asking them to go home. There will be, another there will be. They are saying no. They will remain on the streets. Go and do that thing first. Money for hand, back for ground. Go and do that thing first before they leave the streets. That is the way it is done. And that is the way it is going to be done in this very case. We are live and we are direct. In case you're joining us for the very first time, somebody says, Obiano remains the best governor. You are a complete idiot. You are a complete fool. That is the thing about black people. You lack spirit of distillation to distill. We said this is the only time he has behaved like a governor. Now he's the best governor. Idiots everywhere. Fools everywhere. That was why Nwafo was there for very many years, killing you. Because you don't know that you must hold politicians to account. It doesn't mean you hate them. You must hold them to account. You buffoon. You buffoon, because of what I have said, all of a sudden he's the best governor. You shouldn't be listening to this very broadcast. Some idiots should not be listening to this very broadcast, I'm telling you. Some of you are dumb. Because did Sanwo-Olu not come out a few days ago to address protesters? He went back and used BRT buses, Lagos state government buses, to convey thugs to go and attack protesters because his interest or the interest of his master was being threatened. Fools in this UG. That is why you don't hold anything in perspective. In perspective, hold it in perspective. You cannot. It's either something is white or it is black. There is no gray area. You don't understand it. That was why Revolution Now was launched. Nobody came outside because they couldn't understand the meaning of the word revolution and what they wanted. Is now there is a single issue of end police brutality. They can come out, they can relate to it. But I'm very glad that now they are beginning to reason very well. They are beginning to reason very well. They say protesters chased away Showore. In Abuja, they say he should support them on Twitter first. Oh dear me. Oh dear me, but all will work out well in the end. All will work out well in the end. I like what I read also about the governor of Kwara State. If what I'm reading is correct, then things are turning in the right direction. And if they had abandoned their positions and gone back home, I am not sure that what happened in Anambra State today with Obiano would have happened. I'm not even sure that what I'm about to read out to you, that they say happened in Kwara State, would have happened either. Because from what I can see here, they are saying that the governor of Kwara State led protesters himself to police headquarters. I'm asking those that said, go home. Our demand, you met billionaires and you have been given some money. Please go home. Please go home. We have achieved our aim. If they had gone home yesterday, would Obiano have announced today that Nwafo will be put on trial, that Okozo SARS will be investigated? That is why consistency is good. Consistency is a very good thing. That is why, imagine if we had closed down many years ago. Every time you talk on radio, this idiot has been going to the same useless church from day one as a child. Till today, he has not seen Jesus. Till today, he has not seen heaven. And he has no job at all. Do you see that now that we managed to sustain this momentum, that people's reasoning are now changing for the better? They now understand that we don't hate anybody. We don't despise anybody. Some of you may be shocked. There are some Fulani people that I have nothing against. It's the Janjaweed ruling cabal, the demons that you have in Fulani land that I'm against. People don't understand it. I remember a few years ago, you hate Yoruba. I said, because you're very foolish, you don't understand. Nobody hates anybody. We need you to change. When we started this very project, they said he was rude, he's insulting Igbo people. I started with our own people. I started with the Igbos first, until they started to reason like human beings. Not that it is not that we all we did was to awaken what they had inside them already. Because an average Biafran can reason. That is one thing that is natural. You heard the brother that spoke in the morning. He said it's from Urobo. And I asked him live on air, if the time comes for referendum, where are you going to go? He said he's going to go for Biafra. Although he's not IPOB. He knows that his future lies with Biafra. Do you see how our people reason? That is one thing I love about Biafra. People don't understand the uniqueness of being a Biafran. And that thing that we have as Biafrans, today we have impacted it into the brain and into the minds of other people. They are now reasoning like us. They now understand that sometimes in life that one thing must kill a man. That is why they are out on the streets and they are protesting, and they need our love. They need our support. They need our support and was given to them. And I am hearing, or I read that the Kwara governor led the protesters to police headquarters. That is also going to happen with the army and the police. You watch and see what is going to happen. Once people remain consistent, the army, they are human beings like you. They will turn and join the masses. We want the army to understand that Fulani has a trick up their sleeve. We know what they are going to do. We know what they are going to do. They will try to divide the army along Fulani. They will say our constitutional mandate is to defend Buhari. No, it is to defend the constitution of the country. That is one thing these Janjaweed, they go to school, they learn nothing. They learn nothing. Your loyalty is to the constitution, not to a single person. That these are the things that they must understand. I want to let every army officer, every police officer, every recruit to understand this. You swore to uphold the constitution of Nigeria, albeit a very badly written document. That was what you swore to uphold, not to uphold the regime of a dead Buhari. No. Because Buhari will go. All those ruling in his name will disappear. As I said, once you can see what the youths are doing, once Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar goes outside, we'll risk our lives. If somebody is going to die, but we'll get to his mask and we'll pull it off his face. And that day you will see what happened to Nigeria all over the world. Then you will understand. Then you will understand. We are live and we are direct this very evening. I commend the Kwara State Governor as well. I commend the Kwara State Governor, Abdul Razak. I commend him as well for leading the protesters to police headquarters. That is that is the meaning of democracy. That is how we're supposed to work. You must always hold your elected leaders to account, always. You don't fall in love with them. You don't. You hold them to account for them to do the right thing. That was why you voted for them, not to love them or to be talking nonsense, to be talking absolute garbage. Everywhere that you go to, you must be very, very consistent, please. Very, very consistent. Absolutely consistent. By their fruits you shall know them. By their fruits you shall know them. Because the former U.S. ambassador to the zoo, Ambassador Campbell, he wrote an epistle. He wrote an epistle, and I love it. He's a very principled, upright man. He is a very strong man, but why he loves the zoo so much, I have no idea. I have no idea. But I'm going to tell you what he wrote. The former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria wrote an opinion article posted on the Council on Foreign Relations blog. What did he say? He said that the End SARS protest is exceptional because it is bridging the usual ethnic and religious boundaries in the zoo, Nigeria. It is bridging it. Because SARS killed almost everybody from everywhere. They didn't discriminate. Once they see you with iPhone, you're gone. Once your iPhone is flashing in their brain, iPhone, they don't even ask you where you come from. They kill you off immediately. And are you telling me that because somebody is from Kwara State, they are from Niger State, they are from Nasarawa, and they are coming out on the streets and they're doing the right thing, I shouldn't praise them? Because they're not Biafrans? That is how idiotic black people reason. I don't reason that way. Once you do the right thing, I will praise you. Is Donald Trump from Ishama Farugu? Is Donald Trump a black man? Is he from Africa? But I support him because he's doing the right thing. It doesn't matter. He is doing the right thing. People are queuing to go to US to get US green card to live there. Is your father or your mother or your village headmaster are they in White House? Do you know who they are? You go to America because of how the society is structured and the policies that governs the conduct of governance and the people. That is why you go to America. Not because somebody's from Izombe. I'm going to go to California because California governor is from my village, from Izombe. This primitive zoo politics that you play. If Abdul Razak behaves very well from Kwara State, I will praise him as the governor of Kwara State because he's doing the right thing. Do the right thing and we praise you. Do the terrible thing and we shred you. It's as simple as that. That is how honest and sincere that we are. And I also commend Ambassador Campbell for having written this very brilliant piece because everybody is suffering. And now is the time for people to do the right thing, and they are doing it now. They are doing it now. And Ambassador Campbell actually acknowledged that, which is a very good thing to do. You must acknowledge that things are happening. And they say that the military high command has warned the Zoological Republic, because I want to let you know this evening, I told you that I got a message this evening from a high-ranking army officer. I won't tell you where he comes from. And he said to me, you know, I don't lie. I have no time for that. He said to me that protesters will not be shot. So I was flabbergasted when I went and I read online that the military high command, not Buratai Fulani army. Listen carefully. That is why everybody must support this ongoing protest. I'm telling you, it's achieving a lot of things. Military High Command warns against violent attacks on protesters for the very first time in the history of Africa. In fact, I won't say the history of Africa. I'll say in the history of West Africa. In the history of West Africa. The Military High Command warns against violent attacks on protesters. Can you believe that? After Buratai must have said, we are coming to defend Buhari's government. They said Buratai said, nobody saw him. Makandi blame. They will say, Buratai, you can never see him because he's gone never to return. The armed forces of Nigeria have assured NSTAS protesters of their safety. This is the beginning. So the army is actually divided for the very first time in the history of the zoo. You know, sometimes when people see the news, they don't read between the lines. Here we read between the lines. After Buratai must have come out to say, we are here to defend him, Muhammadu Buhari administration regime, we are here to defend him, law and order. But you have not gone to Sambisa forest to fight. The armed forces issued their statement. The Joint Command of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, they issued their statement assuring protesters of their safety. But you will see that the only people going to shoot at protesters, if you catch that policeman or that army man, you will see that that very person is Fulani. They are Fulani. The Military High Command warned against, there is no violent protest. Protest is protest. IPOB used to protest. There was no violence. Nobody will even say that his mobile phone was missing or his wallet or her wallet got lost in the process. They are all peaceful. People should stop lying. The politicians are the ones that will send their thugs to go and join the protesters and be causing havoc. It is the same politicians. A statement from the military authorities assured that the military is committed to the safety and stability of the country. The armed forces have expressed dismay over some violent related protests across the country. Over some. They know it is the politicians who are sponsoring those people to go and cause mayhem. And I am advising the protesters to remain peaceful. You can block entrance to somewhere, you can make your point, but you must remain peaceful. You must remain peaceful. You must remain peaceful. Peaceful means you don't steal. Peaceful means you don't harass or disturb people. You allow people to get on with their lives, but you can block bridges, you can block roads because you are upset, and everybody can identify with that. Very, very important place. So the army, the high command of the army, is guaranteeing the safety of the protesters as long as they continue to protest peacefully. So what the army needs to understand tonight, after listening to this very broadcast, is that those causing trouble, those fomenting trouble are politicians. The same politicians, yes, it's them. Like Sanwo-Olu in Lagos State, going to hire thugs from Mushi to go and attack protesters. The same people. And I have actually messaged the US ambassador to note Sanwo-Olu and consider him for visa ban. Sanwo-Olu must be banned. He must be banned from visiting US and the EU. The governor of Lagos State is a two-faced bastard. He's a snake. One minute you're coming out and saying you're with the NSAS protesters. The next minute you're holding meetings with a few criminals, claiming that the leaders of the group, you're giving them money to disband and to stop the protest. Third minute, you are going to Mushi and renting thugs belonging to your master Tinubu to go and disrupt protesters. And you claim you're a Democrat. You claim you are a Democrat. The governor of Enugu State must come out and issue a statement. The end SARS protest in Enugu must continue until Ugwuani comes out to address the protesters. He must address them. The same thing must happen also in Ebonyi. The same thing must happen in Umuahia. It must happen. The governors of these states must come out to tell the people that there is no more SARS in my state. Or else they are part of the problem. Or else they are part and parcel of the problem. They are part of it. So when they do good, we commend them. I also commend those of them in the military high command in the zoo that came out and said they will not attack the protesters. Every formation under your unit, you must give them orders not to shoot. People must go back to the history of modern Russia. Do you remember, was it in 1991 or 1992 when the government of Gorbachev was threatened by Communist Party apparatchiks? They wanted to overthrow Gorbachev. And then Yeltsin was the president of the Russian Federation under the former Soviet Union. Listen very carefully. Some of you should go back. In fact, I'm asking our warriors to go back tonight and dig out the video where the army of Russia, one of the strongest armies in the history of man, they sent them to go and kill their people. They said they will not shoot at them. Somebody should bring it out. I want to tweet it and I want to tag Nigerian Army headquarters to understand how patriotic people behave. Go and get it for us, please. Nobody should go to Supreme Court administrator, Fulani administrator of Imo State. Did you vote for him? Or did he even rig himself into power? No. He was appointed by the Fulani Janjaweed. Nothing should happen of that sort. People should demonstrate, if he comes out, that is his business. But every governor must tell us, are there any SARS unit in your state still in operation? As simple as that. They should clarify themselves. The same way that Obiano did. That is what they must do. They must clarify themselves. They must clarify themselves. And as I was saying before, please go and get me a video of Boris Yeltsin climbing aboard a Russian tank in front of Russian White House in Moscow to stop the coup, to stop the army from killing their own people. Somebody should bring it out so that the zoo army can see how patriotic soldiers behave. So we can educate them. The same way we have succeeded in educating ordinary people in the zoo. It is now about time to educate the army and the police as well, so that they will understand. The same way that people are now phoning and writing and calling and saying, oh my goodness, if not for Radio Biafra, we listen to you people all the time. You have changed our mind. You have changed the way we think, everything. We are, of course, it's not us, it's Chukwu Kikabiam that is doing it, not mine. I like what the governor of Borno State said. He said, please send the disbanded SARS officers to help us fight Boko Haram in Borno. And that is where they should be going to. They love shooting people. I want to prove to the world that all they specialize in doing is killing civilians. They cannot fight any war. They cannot fight any battle. That is a fact of life. And that is what I'm making abundantly clear to the hearing of the whole world today. They should send all those SARS people to Bruno. Let them go to Sambisa Forest to go and showcase their trigger-happy skills. And I'm sure they cannot be able to do it. That is what the governor of Borno State, maybe some of these governors, I don't know what they are on right now. I don't know what they are eating or what they are drinking. Some of them are coming to their senses in the zoo. That is a proper revolution. Or maybe they are lying to themselves. Who knows? Maybe they are lying to themselves. Who knows? Buratai, if you're still alive, send your troops to go and fight Boko Haram, not killing innocent protesters as you intend to do. Fulani is intimidation. Fulani thinks they can intimidate everybody. We are going to unleash the army. The army will come. We must do it. They are going to hire their thugs. Their thugs will come. They'll offer you money. Their thugs will come. They'll try to divide you. They'll try to buy over the leadership. Once you remain very strong, they will send the police first. After we overwhelm the police, they'll send the army. And the army will capitulate and everything you want to be given to you. That is how you change your life. That is why this protest must continue. And somebody said something in the morning about supporting our volunteers, those who are on the... And I'm giving this order, is a direct order, to every IPOB unit across every part of the zoo, including Biafra land, to protect, guide all the protesters and make sure that they are well fed where we can feed them. You feed them. I am asking families to rise up to feed those who are out on the streets. You must feed them. You must give them water to drink. It is very, very important because they are fighting for you. And having said that, I want to commend our mothers in the USA, our women in the USA. I told you before, when our women come out, especially in the USA, that the narrative will change. They have come out and they are doing very, very well. IPOB Women's Wing, Omoada in the USA, our liaison officers, and all those engaged in emergency fundraising in support of the very gallant youths who are out on the streets protesting and risking their lives for the betterment of everybody. Our mothers in the USA, IPOB, of course, they have been doing some fundraising and doing it very well at that. I want to commend the husbands of our women. I want to commend also the wives of our husbands, those we have in the US that came out together. In less than 2 weeks? In less than 2 weeks. Because they were doing it before in support of the work that the volunteers are doing at home. And also now our gallant youths that are risking their lives on the streets to give us a better future. And today I can confirm that they have raised $120,000. That is the way we roll. I told them before, who is the politician? Who is the idiot? He can come out and say, don't say this. In Radio Biafra, and say, we sponsor you. Who is the bagger? Can you learn? And who is the idiot? We are all over the world. This is just a handful of women. Just a few of them with our liaison officers. Their husbands. They just got together a few days ago and they have raised $120,000 in support of what is happening on the ground back home. That is how strong we are. That is how formidable we are. We don't need to go to... I said two things. I'm not going to go to any money bag to ask for funds to buy weapons because I'm building them myself. We build it ourselves. We build our own ourselves. Because not when it starts now, Britain will say, in view of maintaining regional stability in West Africa, we are imposing no arms sales to everybody. But from the back, they'll be selling arms to Fulani terrorists. And I said, you know me, I spent years reading and studying why we failed in 1970. And we are not going to make the same mistakes. The weapons we are going to use, we are going to manufacture ourselves. If you ask them in Enugu, they will tell you. They are wondering, where are these ordinances coming from? Who made them? Where are they coming from? Now they know how formidable we are. And we are waiting for their army to mobilize. And we'll destroy them. We will destroy the Nigerian army. Write it down on a piece of paper. Any day they move against civilians, we'll destroy them. They know how serious we are. They think we are joking. It's only COVID-19 that saved the zoo. This year, if at all it has been saved. We told them that people will rise up this year and have risen up. Go to my broadcast. Somebody reminded me of my broadcast where I said it. Go back to it and you will see it. Those on the streets must remain on the streets. And we thank our mothers once again in the USA. And I wish mothers in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, in South America can rise up and do the same thing as well. In fact, in every country, not just in continent, this is only USA. And they have not stopped there. They just informed me today that they have raised this wonderful amount of money, $120,000 they raised. And we commend them for that. Thank you very much. And more grease to your elbows. We thank them very, very much. And now our lines are going to open. I'm going to give you a different line to call tonight, please. You must listen very carefully and note the number down. I am going to give you a different number to call tonight, please. I beg of you. You must listen very, very carefully to this line that I'm going to give to you and call it, please. It is a different line altogether, please. And when somebody is on the line, please, please, please hold back a little bit. Hold back a little bit. The number I'm going to give you is a German number. Please. +49 162 73 06 732. Please. If somebody is on the line talking on that very line, if I pick up a call on WhatsApp, it's a WhatsApp line, please. Do not call. Allow that person to finish, or else this line will be jammed. The line that I gave out in the morning has been jammed. It's no longer working, more or less. It has been jammed, completely, fully jammed. Please, I am releasing this number, and our Skype as well is IPOB2020@outlook.com. IPOB2020@outlook.com. And for our WhatsApp line is +49 162 730 6732. If at all we can take calls tonight, or we can defer it till tomorrow morning. Some are saying that we should defer it till tomorrow morning. Since people are coming on tomorrow morning, that we should defer it. And if that is the case, people are calling. They don't want to wait till tomorrow morning. Let us take this very call. The caller on the line, please, can you hear me? The caller on the line, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please. What is your name?
My name is Uwazuruike. I'm calling you from Nairobi, Kenya.
From Nairobi in Kenya.
I am from Isialambano, Imo State. Isialambano local government, Imo State.
Thank you very much.
So that is my hometown in Biafra. So please, Mazi, there is this thing I want you to help us, help our brothers, to educate our brothers, because it just occurred to me. The reason why police are tormenting only the Southeast, this our Biafra land and our Udutuwa brothers. When you look at how much, if you come back now to that our Southeast, maybe you come out from abroad, you come back home, you don't want police harassment, you go to the office and say, I need 2-3 police officers so that they will be in front of my vehicle so that I will not have any disturbance. You end up every month, you can pay up to 300,000. So ask them, our people, who is eating that money? And they have used this thing to police to harass all, and this thing only happens to the whole of our Southeast, the whole of our South, the whole of South. That's Biafran land and the Yoruba land. So all this money that when people come back, they say they want the escort so that police will not disturb. And they are doing this thing intentionally to frustrate the life of people so that when you get money, you come to the station and say you want police escort. When you multiply how much money that these people collect from people every day on daily basis, I took one last year. I paid 20,000 per each police officer. 20,000. Multiply it by 5,000 policemen every day. You see who is eating that money? Where is that money going? And they are doing this thing intentionally so that our people will continue to patronize that their business. So that is what I want you to look into and see how you can educate our people to stop that rubbish. We will not be taking police again from them and let them remove all the useless police from the road. We will secure ourselves.
Of course, we will. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and well spoken as well. Thank you very much. I have another caller on the line. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? They are reconnecting. As I said before, if we have too many people, we are going to have difficulties because the lines will crash. That is what they always do. The lines will crash. That is what they always do. Please take it easy. Take it easy. If you do not take it easy, no. The calls are too much. It's just way too much, as always. And it is a good thing, as a matter of fact. People can please call us also on Skype, IPOB 2020 at outlook.com. Thank you very much, Annie. Because our enlightenment is working. Of course, it is working. And that is why everywhere is changing, everywhere is reverberating, and people now understand the seriousness of what we are doing. I have a caller on the line, please, on Skype. Your name and where you are, please. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Please, we speak up. We are listening and we're waiting for you. The whole world is waiting. Give us your name and where you are, please.
Greetings to you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am calling all the way from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
From Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I'm a bona fide son of Biafra land, from Owerri to be precise.
Thank you very much. Owerri. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I will pray that God will continue to guide you for the good work you're doing for the people of Biafra. And God will continue to strengthen you.
And bless IPOB as well. Very, very important. Please go ahead.
Yes, and bless IPOB as well. Mazi, like I have been having issues here with some of my friends, and they are telling me, though they are from Biafra land, most of them are arguing with me if I am sure this Biafra will really come or will surely come.
Where is the idiot asking you this question? He cannot see his mates on the streets agitating for a better life. And he's somewhere asking you when. Please don't go towards that direction. I don't want to discuss idiots or saboteurs on this platform anymore. I want to discuss ideas that can move us forward, please. If you have anything else to say, you say it. Just forget all these idiots. They're inconsequential. Please.
My own take this day, because it's morning over here, my own take is that in the midst of this contest, and in the midst of this protest that is going on in the zoo, Nigeria, I don't know if we can actually take up this. Maybe when the protest has gone down a little bit, we, the IPOB members and the youth over there in Nigeria, can actually, kick off with our own protest, flagging off the Biafran flag and let the people know, because the Arewa, they are taking themselves to their own side, and the Ududuwas are taking themselves to their own side. And you initiated all this. You ignited the fire that has started burning in their hearts, for them to actually remember that they are coming from a particular place. Though the white man has met everyone together, you lighted the fire, and I believe if we start, flagging off our own flag after this protest, I think that will actually help for the world to recognize us more in the heat of this very protest.
Thank you very much. What we are praying for actually is for everybody to be free. Everybody, for them to understand that freedom is vital and for them to be free as well. That's what we're asking for. And once they get to that very juncture, then it is all over for the zoo. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, my dear brother, and continue the good work. I don't want to discuss idiots and inconsequential issues anymore. Please don't tell me what your idiotic friends are telling you. If they cannot read the handwriting on the wall, that's entirely up to them. And I want to advise each and every person doing live broadcasts to focus on the issues and leave personalities out of it. Don't mention anybody's name. Don't discuss people. Focus on the issues of Biafra alone. That is what we are here for. Very, very important, please. Very, very important, please. Our lines have completely gone, completely crashed again. But we are taking calls on Skype. The caller on Skype, can you hear me, please? Your name and where you are.
Yes, I can hear you very well. Onyendu, good evening from here.
Thank you very much. Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, Biafran, friends of Biafrans and lovers of freedom. My name is Most Favor Oniwu. I come from Ozobro and I'm calling from Kingdom of Netherlands.
From Netherlands. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yes. Onyendu, first and foremost, I must thank you. Chukwuabiama will see you through and Chukwuabiama will see us through. In our own My contribution to this very ongoing protest is this. One thing, I remember a few weeks ago, you told us that you will appoint a Twitter campaign manager, sort of someone, a formidable member of IPOB who will be overseeing our Twitter campaign. So until this moment, I'm still looking forward for that, because if that office has been given, if you have been commissioned that very office, this is a good time now for us to hijack this protest based on Twitter, as in on social media aspect. Now our people in the Biafra land and in wider zoo are shouting "End Nigeria, end Nigeria." If we only your post on Twitter alone, when I take the retweet on your comment or any post you make on Twitter, it's over 5,000 retweet of any post you make. Now, if we have a Twitter person that will be kind of leading this very campaign on Twitter, if over 5,000 people per day are retweeting "End Nigeria, end Nigeria, end Nigeria," these Twitter bros now that today join the struggle to say "End SARS," you also know that this Nigeria, you see a number of people shouting "End Nigeria." So that very campaign is the word that we are not just not interested in ending the SARS, but also we want to bring an end to that very zoological republic. So that is my suggestion. I know there is a lot on your head, but we need this media head so we can hijack the Facebook and this Twitter by tweeting this end zoological republic. That is my first contribution. Second one is, again, is your question kind of, now that this campaign is ongoing, protest is very high. Is it not a bad time for our people also to, in the midst of this protest of Nigeria, we can also be showcasing a placard in their midst showing "End Zoological Republic," because we are saying "End SARS," "End police reform." We can also inform, give the order, and it will be done. Our people also inside be in their means, and also the placard will be flying over "End Nigeria." That is just my suggestion. Onions Ndu, thank you for giving me the time, and Chukwuabiama will see us through.
He said, "Thank you very much and well spoken." Thank you very, very much. We have interviewed one of our sisters, or should I say a daughter, in Houston, Texas. And very soon her name will be announced and she will start. She's actually an attorney. She's an attorney, and very soon she will start work. We've interviewed her and she will join us very, very shortly. Be rest assured. We need this very Twitter czar all over the world to make sure we have a Twitter account, and also to make sure that we follow each other and that we retweet each other. We retweet each other as well. Thank you very much. The caller on the line on Skype, can you hear me? They have, in fact, WhatsApp is gone. It's gone. Please go ahead. The caller on Skype, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, please, your name and where you're calling us from, if you may.
Hello.
I can hear you. For the last time, your name and where you are.
I'm watching that, but I'm calling from Stuttgart.
From Stuttgart in Germany. Please go ahead. What do you have to say? Go ahead.
Please, I'm a suggestion. I am not suggestion. I want to buy a video protest by end Nigeria.
It will be premature for that. If you do end Nigeria now, Britain will step in and they will ask the world to stop following. They will start talking nonsense about regional stabilization. It's like if you give birth to a baby, do you start giving that baby apple that day? Do you have a child? Do you have a child? You don't have a child yet. Yes, when you give birth, have you seen where a little baby has been raised before? Have you been in a family where you see a little child being raised before?
Yes.
If your child is born, but first of all, do you believe that this very protest that is going on is like a newborn baby? Do you believe that?
Yes, I believe that because I haven't seen this kind of thing before in Nigeria before.
Thank you very much. When you have a child and you give birth to a child, what do you start giving the child when the child is newly born?
Cerelac.
No, Cerelac comes a few days after. Once a child is born, the first thing you give to the child is either water or you give the child breast milk. Except breast milk. That's how you start. If you give birth to that child, you're going to give that child Samovita or Indomie. If you give it to that child, the child's digestive system cannot handle it. And that baby will probably die. That is how it is. What you have in the spirit, you also have in real life. This very campaign is only a few days old. If you overfeed it with what you need, if you give it chicken, you give it turkey, you give it goat, pepper soup and nkwobi, it will die. Do you understand? You nurture it.
It's true.
You nurture it. You nurture it. When the consciousness of the people have been risen or elevated to a particular level, then their demands will change. We're not just going to say, oh, you must end Nigeria. No, there are reasons as to why Nigeria needs to end. The same way there are reasons as to why SARS needs to end. The world has bought into the SARS narrative that SARS needs to end. That is why Facebook joined. God forbid Facebook check up on Hawk. That is the reason why Google joined. That is the reason why also Twitter joined. So you see, if you go now for end Nigeria, I'm telling you the truth, Britain will move mountains. They have the money. Fulani Janjaweed will move billions. They will move it. They will spend it. And all the influencers will stop talking about it. And it will die there. We don't want to make that mistake. We know where we are going. It took people many years to get to where they are today. We must nurture them as to move forward. But the end destination is to end Nigeria, and Nigeria will end. That I can assure you. Be rest assured. Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Remember.
And you too, my dear brother. May Chukwukabiyama bless you immensely. Our lines are open. We are flooded with calls, inundated with people who are trying to speak from all over the world. But we must listen to them. The caller on the line, please call us on Skype, please. IPOB2020@outlook.com. Please give us your name and where you are. The caller on Skype.
Hello, man.
Yes, please, your name and where you are. The whole world is listening to your voice. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
My name is Chikelue Zako.
Chikelue Nzako, where are you calling from?
Yes, from Mimo in Njikoka, Anambra State.
A very beautiful place in Njikoka. Lovely name. I love it. Njikoka. Beautiful name. Please go ahead. We are listening. Go ahead.
As Mazi, I reside in Makurdi here, Benue State.
You are in Makurdi in Benue State. Yes.
By the grace of God, Makurdi in Benue State.
Yes.
By the grace of God, I've been trying to talk to one or few people of Benue State that I know that are our brothers in the Middle Belt.
Yes.
Today, there was a protest happened today in Benue State. I was so disturbed that the protest only happened at the IBB Square in Makurdi. The protesters were unable to leave that premises to come outside the town to protest. It was so. But I think maybe they were constrained, maybe by the authorities, because the first time was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, what happened? What I want to ask you, what happened 2 days ago? Repeat what happened 2 days ago. What happened 2 days ago? Please tell me.
2 days ago, Mazi.
Yes.
People came out in mass. There's a place called Savannah Roundabout. Savannah Roundabout is a popular roundabout in Makurdi. Roundabout. That is a major roundabout in Makurdi after Uwazuruike roundabout. So that was where people gathered, trying to block the road and protest. The police came, and I know that was on the account of the command by the CP. They came with armored truck and dispensed everybody that was gathered to protest. People left.
That is a Fulani way. People must understand the Fulani will always come with intimidation. It is in their mindset. That is the way they are. Because for you to drive, you can see a Fulani 10-year-old boy moving cattle that is bigger than him 10 times over. The only way you can get a cattle to move is to intimidate the cattle, to beat the cattle, to drive the cattle, to whip it, to use koboko, to use cane, to use stick. That is the only thing Fulani understand. When they will always try, but people must remain resolute and very firm. And let me tell protesters, I'm sure they are doing it now, what they need to do. People should be going live wherever there is protest. Focus your camera on the army or the police wherever they are within the in the vicinity of the protest ground. Put them on live so that the whole world can see what is happening. Had Makurdi done the same thing, they would have been strong today. And I'm asking them, all of them listening to us tonight, to come out tomorrow to that very square, that very roundabout you're talking about. Go live. Once you see them, you go live. Their faces will be there. They know that someone like James Wanfa will face prosecution. There is no single SARS officer that killed anybody that will go scot-free. Not one single soul. That is why this very campaign must be sustained. Please tell them in Makurdi that they must come out. They shouldn't be afraid. They should come out and they should go live. Very, very important, please. Very, very important, please. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you very, very much for your call. Thank you for your call, please. The calls are rolling in from everywhere. From everywhere, the calls are rolling in. Unbelievable. I have another caller on Skype. This caller, can you hear me? The caller on Skype, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. The caller on Skype, can you hear me? Yes, please, your name and where you're calling us from. The world is listening. Please go ahead.
My name is Daniel. I'm calling you from New York.
Daniel from New York. Daniel, are you in a lion's den?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, this Daniel. What is your father's name? Are you the same Daniel that left the lion's den unscathed?
And my name is Bright.
My goodness. Are you Daniel or you're Bright?
Can you hear me?
Let me get it right. Are you Daniel or you're Bright?
My name is Bright. My father's name is Daniel.
Bright Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Please, where are you from?
Yes, I don't know.
You don't know where you're from?
Sorry, my lord. I am from Abia State. I'm from Abia State, Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
My question is this. My question is this. Sometimes
No. You are on hands-free. No. Take your phone off hands-free. I don't want hands-free. Put your phone on your ear and talk to me direct. If I can hear your voice, if you can hear my voice.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I want to speak with you. Can you hear me?
Okay, please go ahead. Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead. No.
Jesus, what is
You come and you go. That is the problem. I don't know what is happening in New York where you are. I don't know what is going on. Please try and resolve it, and you call us back, please, if you may, because I would like to take your call. I believe that you have something very, very important to contribute. One of us is with us now on the phone. Can you hear me? Yes, how are you? Turn your system down. Turn your system down or you move away. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, man.
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
My name is Uwazuruike, sir.
Yes, yes.
I have a record here from Edo State. So I can translate it in broken English so that all over the world we hear it.
Go ahead.
Our Edo State people are complaining that they start this. I am Solomon, my fellow Biafra friend. I went to his job. It's not now that I've been beaten. I don't say to you, all of us, we are wake up. If this country want to divide, let it divide. He said he's the one of the protest mobilizer. Yeah. He said the Edo State IPOB coordinator is my friend. He was telling me about Biafra, but I didn't put my mind.
Now, the protest started.
The protest
started. Now tell us.
He said,
what did he say?
He said they start the protest. So he now met the coordinator. They now talk about the protest. The protest now starts.
They are scaling back because no finance.
There is no finance, no food, nothing. They are inside the sun. He said in Lagos Street there are many actors, many celebrities that is supporting them. They are in Eko. If you can see Lagos now, the protest is still going on.
So what do they need in Benin? What do they need? Because I gave an instruction in the morning and somebody actually wrote to me. I gave an instruction in the morning and I'm giving the same instructions now to everybody who runs a restaurant in Benin City to make sure that they bring out some food and some water to feed the people. But we want people who are genuinely motivated to see change to come out for protest, not those looking for food. Do you understand it? Because if we begin to provide food for everybody...
Yeah, they say they don't want to collect any money for the politicians or for the rich people. They want to do it on their own. They started the protest. So they need Edo people in diaspora or outside the country to support them. That they don't want, he said it on this audio. He said he don't want to eat chicken today, so he will start suffering tomorrow. He want to drink only water today so that tomorrow will be better. They are ready to break this soon. That is what he's talking about.
Yes, and that I want people that have and run restaurant to be able to provide food for those who are protesting. I said it when I saw that people are sleeping on Lekki Bridge. I made that announcement and somebody wrote to me here to confirm that people are complying regarding Benin City as well. We want people to feed the protesters. They must be fed. It is only once a day and you drink water. But you're not coming out because of the money you're going to get from the diaspora or the help. No, we are not in a cooking competition. This is not it's not a jamboree. It's not a party where people are going to feed or where people are going to eat. What we are saying is that you must be out on the streets from what you're doing. Once you go live, once you come out in Benin City and you go live, the whole world will know what is happening and help will come to sustain it. I understand what it means. And we are going to do the best we can. Sorry? What did you say? They don't want to stop?
They don't want to stop this agitator because in Edo, SARS have been killing our people in Edo State. Not now. They have been killing a lot. So it's Edo politicians. You understand? So
okay.
we want our people to also talk to them. The Delta people and Edo people, we want our people to talk to them on ground. That is what they need, sir.
Okay, that's what I got. Now, when they organize their protest tomorrow, if they come out tomorrow morning to protest, I will be live on air. I will open a special line for them to call. And through that line, the whole world can hear what is happening in Edo State as well. And, oh wow, Sophia, thank you very much for your call. Thank you. It's a very important information. Thank you very, very much for your call. Thank you for your call. And I also want to say that everybody can become a Twitter chief wherever they are. Get people around you. Get 10 people minimum around you to join Twitter. That's what IPOB family members can do all over the world. And of course, Amaka Ekwe is there, who's my press secretary, and can be able to guide anybody to follow anybody. Emeka Gift is there, Somto is there. These are hardened tweeters. There will be people that tweet regularly and always. You go to them, any of them. It's as simple as that. Call on the number that I provided, not the other one, please, I beg of you. I have a caller on Skype. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Mazi.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good evening, Mazi. I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Ike. I'm calling from UK.
Ike, what? What is your father's name? Here we don't hide who we are.
Ike Chinedu.
Chinedu, thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I must have to commend you. I must commend you. You are doing a wonderful job, Mazi.
It's IPOB and Chukwu Kikabiam in heaven. In reverse order, of course. Go ahead.
Yes, I must commend you and IPOB. Yeah, you are doing a great job. Mazi, I know that what is happening now is as a result of the job you've been doing and IPOB have been doing for years. It has started yielding fruits and bountifully too. I was speaking with a friend early today. He was saying that how come every time you come to the air and you talk and there is no strategy, that he doesn't understand you anymore. I told him, my reply was very simple. I told him, if at all you don't learn anything when you listen to Nnamdi Kanu, that means you are not intelligent. You are simply not intelligent. Because you have fed people with enough information and have emboldened them, have given them the strength to march out to the street. Before now, you dare not talk to a policeman anyhow. You dare not speak to an army man anyhow in Nigeria. Both the police and the SARS and even the army, they now know that there is a limit to what people can take away from our people. To know that these people who are in the military, the difference is just that they have a gun. They have gun, they have weapons.
That's all.
And that is just the difference, just the basic difference, nothing more.
Nothing more. They have nothing else. Only that AK-47 and bullet inside it. And Fulani Janjaweedism. And corrupt politicians backing them. They are nothing.
Yes, you're right. And I was also telling him that the reason we must have to have Biafra, is this. There is no need, when you have a problem with your brother, and when you go home, you have a problem with your brother, your brother goes to a DPO who is from Kano or Medugri and gives him money, he comes against you and fights you in your home. But if you have Biafra, maybe you get a DPO from Anambra who is serving in Imo and he misbehaves. We trace him to his house in Anambra, wherever he is in Anambra, and we deal with him. How can you trace somebody who is from Kano or Sokoto and who is being backed up by Abuja? So this is the problem we have. The problem we must solve this problem by insisting that we must have a country of our own, so that we have little problem to manage. Nigeria is too big and a problem that nobody knows how. Even God Himself cannot. Let me not. I'm not trying to look down on God, but the way He's structured, the way Nigeria is structured, there is a limit to what God can. God has given us the power now to reclaim our country. So please, I don't want to take more time. You continue what you are doing. You are really doing marvelously. And another thing is this, please, I need to get UK's this so I can join IPOB in UK, please.
It is very, very easy and very, very simple. Ask anybody around you, they'll tell you where you are. And you have spoken very well this evening, and what you have said, we have taken on board. And for the very first time, I'm being honest with you, I have 2 messages here. I'm not going to say her surname, but I have somebody from Adamawa State. Her name is Miriam. For the first time, I am receiving these messages. And she's saying that she's from Adamawa State. I'm not going to say her surname. She gave me her surname. She said, I'm from Arewa, Adamawa State. I'm so happy of all what you have been doing for making our friends and family to understand how dumb we are about our freedom. I am not even up to 18 years old. It's only God that can bless you. I don't know what could have happened to us without your support and you advising us. I'm also thanking for the confidence in you that make you to save future millions. There's a way she's a teenager writing to us from Adamawa. Somebody also wrote something. He said, I want to speak to, what did he say? He said, I want to speak to my Hausa people. He said, I want to speak to Hausa people. He is writing from where? Where is his name again? Somebody also wrote and said, I want to speak to my Hausa brethren, but the calls are too much. They are flooding too much that I cannot even call him back. That is how difficult it is. I cannot even call him back. That is how hard it is. Let us take this call. The caller on the line, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? Thank you very much.
Bless you.
And bless you too.
Thank you for taking my call. My leader, my name is Bryce Daniel. I am calling you from New York.
You're very lucky. You're very lucky. With over 3,000 missed calls here, you got through. Please go ahead. I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
The other time you said that there is no volunteer in diaspora. There should be no volunteer in diaspora. I'm now asking you, why have you forgotten that it was the hardcore volunteer that collected the Red Cap Yam Festival from Germany? They are the hardcore. The hardcore volunteer that searched everywhere in Japan looking to bring out Danny before he ran away.
It's true.
Please use every power you have to restore the volunteers in diaspora. Airport. I am working in the presidential, what do you call it, terminal. I am every day waiting, looking for the space mark president to pass so that I will dismantle.
You will attack him and dismantle him, and nothing will happen. Once you see him in an airport, take off his mask. Go ahead.
Every day I go to work, I engage the policemen working in the same terminal in my area. I told them where I come from. There are politician governors who are criminals that I want to arrest them. I have been engaging them in conversations because I know that one day this my trap will catch fish, restore the diaspora volunteers with immediate effect. I appeal to you, restore because this baby making cannot do it. Remember how they searched for these people in Japan. Remember how Japanese volunteers, die-hard volunteers, found the whole Japan upside down, looking for Jubri al-Sudani, and they hide him in the hotel. Remember how the volunteers collected the red cap and put it in IPOB museum in Germany? Have you forgotten?
I have not. You have made you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my dear brother. You have made a very compelling point. You know me, I always concede to superior argument and superior reasoning, and I agree with you. You have won me over with the strength of your argument, and we are going to organize it very well. we are going to restore it and we are going to organize it very well. There will be volunteers in the diaspora. I understand what you're saying. You made a very stupendous argument, amazing argument. I love it. I love it when people engage me intellectually and get me to change my mind. I love it. The arguments you've advanced are unquestionable, and we shall restore volunteers across every nook and cranny of the world. These are the people who are going to die once Yusuf Muhammad Abubakar steps out of the zoo. We will sacrifice one person. The first person that will not attack him, to remove his mask. That silicone ear, we'll pull it out for the whole world to see. They're playing with us. They don't know how determined. Of course, now they know. Now they know how determined we are. They know, and they cannot mess with us. The caller on Skype, can you hear me?
And it is Ugonna Onyekwere. I'm calling from Malaysia.
From Malaysia, Ugonna Onyekwere. Thank you very much. Please, the world is listening. Go ahead.
Okay, I take you first. Let me go straight to the point. Watching what is happening here, watching what is happening in Nigeria from here, I can see that the government are now putting up the politicians that the youth can listen to.
Yes.
They brought people like Senator Uwazuruike because...
What did Abaribe say? No, don't go too far. What did the senator say? What did Abaribe say? Please go ahead. What did Abaribe say?
He said that they should come up with what they want by tomorrow morning, that he will be in the office to listen to them. Because the youth are not listening to anyone at all. So even for over 1 year, we haven't heard from Osibanjo. Now, Vice President has to have faced, which is not called for. We are not going to listen to him. We know, watching it from here, we know that the person there, it is not the president. He cannot have a public audience. He cannot grant any life. The one that he made is on the last video he made is 1 minute. It is not up to 2 minutes, which is very wrong. There is nothing hard telling us that this president is not the president, but the North wants power, and power consumes people. So what I am going to say is, people, prominent politicians that really know the youth will listen to them, should not allow themselves to be used by the Nigerian government.
What did Osibanjo say? Did you see Osibanjo live? Did you see Osibanjo live? Or was it one of those deep fake videos? Did you see Osibanjo live saying something?
Recently, he have been making some comment.
No. Those things are fake. No, Osibanjo, not at all. If Osibanjo is live, they would have sent him to Lagos. I'm telling you the truth. If Osibanjo is alive, they would have sent him to Lagos. I'm just being honest with you.
Okay,
this is a government of deep fake video. If you look at that video, they claim is Buhari. Of course, it's not Buhari. You will see that the movement of the head and the movement of the shoulder does not rhyme together. It's deep fake video. That's what Chinese people can do for you. It's called deep fake. Go and Google it. Deep fake video. You can get Obama tonight giving a speech on deep fake video regarding EndSARS if you want. But we are not shady people. That is something they must know. But the mask wearer, if he touches Europe or America, we have taken him. All alam. We will sacrifice 2 or 3 lives, but we'll get him, and the zoo is gone. And then that day, Hausa will chase Fulani away from Sokoto. I'm telling you the truth. That their deceit will be open for the whole world to see. I'm going to ask Senator Baribe what is going on. Of course, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a senator. He will say what is happening. Let us try and resolve it. After all, they swore to uphold the constitution of the zoo. That is their job, and that's what they're going to do. But I'm going to ask him what exactly he is doing, because this protest will continue. The demand is very simple. They submit the list of the demands. They must audit every SARS center. They must arrest every SARS officer responsible for every any extrajudicial deaths. They must shut down SARS. They must transfer them to Sambisa Forest to go and fight Boko Haram. There must be a root and branch overhaul of the zoo police system. And the people, ordinary people, must sit on police commission to decide what happens. And there should be no checkpoints on the road. Police should not be carrying guns on you, harassing people. After all, Britain that gave the zoo independence, police people do not carry guns. As simple as that. That is the same thing they must have in the zoo. And they must give people employment. The list is endless. The list is very, very long and endless. Thank you very much, my dear brother, for that. Thank you very much. I have another caller on Skype. That caller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my leader. Good evening from here.
And good evening from here too. Your name, please, and where you're calling us from, if you may.
Yeah, my leader, my name is Obi Mano Chibike. I'm calling you from the state of Israel.
Israel, thank you very much. The Holy Land itself. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. My leader, your broadcast reminds me of what you taught us some time ago about a word you called ozone provocateur. And this time the word come up to my reasoning.
Of course.
It's high time you remind us that word again in order to strengthen our people that are protesting in Nigeria. Because I'm seeing the hands of the ozone provocateur. They will now come to entice them and mix up with them in order to criminalize them so that the government will clamp down on them. We are seeing how the Janjaweed are mobilizing, coming to attack the protesters. Very soon now they will start breaking into shops. And the world will say that the protesters has gone berserk and they start looting shops.
Yes.
So I want you to educate us more about that.
I would.
And secondly,
yes.
I want to call.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to call upon the lecturers in Nigeria. I hear that the government want to rush them in order to resume the higher institutions. I want to tell them that this is the time they have to get all their demands that they have been demanding since 1999. All that their demands that ordinary councillor in a local government is earning salary, earning a living more than a professor. This is the time they have to make it right. If the government comes to them and tell them to reopen the school, they have to meet all their demands before they will reopen. Because they will come now and bribe them and tell them to reopen so that all these youths that are agitating, they know that they are students. That when they resume school now, they will put exam and test to make them leave the street. So this is their time to get whatever they are demanding right. And I want to also call upon the pastors, the religious leaders. We have not heard anything from them up to now. These are their members.
You want to spoil their business? Do you want to spoil? I read what Daddy Freeze wrote. Do you want to spoil? They are threatening their business, ending Nigeria and being on the streets. No, that means people will not go for Saturday night on Thursday. People will not sow seed on Friday, and you think they are happy. These are businessmen. These are the worst. They are worse than your so-called pastors. Some of them, they are good men of God. Some of them are worse than politicians. They are worse than Sanwo-Olu of Lagos. That came out and said, hey, protest is good, it's guaranteed. Went back and hired thugs. You said something about Ocean Provocateur, and I will tell people how it works. That is why before you go for any protest, people must try and buy data for those who are protesting. Is very important. Charge your phone very well. Once you see them, you put them on live video to the world. If it is in Lagos, you tell them that this is Tinubu Tog. This is Tinubu Tog. I'm telling the world that this Tog is from Sanwo-Olu. Is Tinubu's Tog. Let me see how the idiot can come out to contest in 2023. Talking rubbish. That's how you emevoko to the Yala, you disgrace them, you bring them out. And if one of them mistakenly falls into the crowd, the idiot disappears and never to be seen again. He'll be given a beating of his life. That in his next life, if they ask him to go and practice toggery, he will say no, he will not practice it. As simple as that is how they behave. That's what they will always do. To infiltrate. That is the only thing that Fulani understands. To try to replicate that thing you're doing. That is the reason why when any saboteur, anytime I sack somebody from IPOB, they rush to that person immediately and say, oh, no, this is this. Can you try and do something so that we can... Now, let me give you an example. You said that the pastors have not spoken. Is that true? Is that correct?
Yes, I said.
Is that what you are? Good. Now, can you ask yourself this question? Why is it that Uwazuruike has not spoken and Asari Dokubo has not spoken? Have you asked yourself that question? People don't know the meaning of this protest. This protest will tell you who a saboteur is. Have you seen that they have not spoken? Everybody has spoken. The Google see everybody of consequence have spoken, but the inconsequential ones cannot speak. Have you that blabber mouth on he's spitting on the screen? Has he spoken? He's a freedom fighter. Has he spoken? Has Gani Adams not spoken? Has the honor of the Kakanfo of Yorubaland not spoken? I'm asking you, is there anybody who is an honest person who have not spoken out in support of the protesters? I am asking you a question.
Everybody has spoken.
Why has Uwazuruike not spoken? Why has Uwazuruike not spoken? Why has Asari Dokubo not spoken? Because they are agents of the zoo. Somebody should translate in English for me, please. Not bright. Somebody should translate. It is I am people shouting. They are freedom fighters. They have been in this struggle. They are fighting the freedom. Now the youths are out on the streets. Now they need support. Now that money they are using to build hotel, that money they are using to build hostel in Cotonou, the people now need it on the street to feed, to sustain the campaign, to change things. Where are they? Where are they? Those that claim they are freedom fighters, where are they? BBC will go and interview Asari Dokubo, ask him what he's saying about end the SARS campaign. Go and interview Uwazuruike. Ndioshi, they are criminals. Everybody who is anybody have spoken in support of our young people on the streets protesting. Look at those criminals being funded by Fulani Janjaweed. They convince some idiots, they convince some fools that they are fighting for freedom. Ndiara. I kept for 1 week now, they have not spoken. Maybe tomorrow now, after hearing my broadcast, you see the idiot who goes talking rubbish. Now that the protest is on, why is it that they cannot speak? This is the same mass up. They want some idiots say IPOB mass. You want to stain the impeccable image of IPOB. Do you know what IPOB is? You want to say IPOB mass up. Look at them, they cannot speak. Can they speak? Can they speak? They cannot talk because their master Fulani Janjaweed is in trouble. He's in very serious trouble. For goodness sake. Thank you very much for your call. And with that, we have come to the end of our program this very week. Uwazuruike was busy inspecting his new hotel site. He was supervising the offloading of Dangote cement in the new hostel he's building. Onyoshi. People he claims I'm a revolutionary, I'm a freedom fighter. Now that children are out on the streets, we have raised $120,000 and we are going to spend it on people who are on the streets. The same way we did during COVID-19 with our palliative, we shall do it on the streets. We are sending support, relief. Tomorrow morning, relief is going to Benin City to sustain them. Stupid idiot. Busy inspecting hotel. This one is busy building school, asking for amnesty, collecting money, building hostels, and the idiots, stupid fools refer to these vagabonds as freedom fighters. Useless people everywhere. We are whiter than white and whiter than snow. With $120,000, I can build a hotel if I want. But it is money contributed to save the people, to rescue Biafra, and that is where it's going to be spent. We are bringing the program to an end. Ututu in the morning, tomorrow we reconvene 7 a.m. GMT. Go and set your alarm clock. this education, this enlightenment continues. For the very first time. Another girl, I was not up to 18 years of age. She said, my next birthday is my 18th birthday. Thank you very much for what you have doing, for what you're doing. You have opened our eyes. I have the text message here and I will save it. I don't usually save text message, but I'll save this very one. Another one called and sent a message and said, I am trying to call you so I can advise my Hausa people. Because they know we speak the truth. They know we do not hate anybody. I cannot hate anybody. I was not born to hate anybody. What I despise are people that speak from both sides of the mouth. People who are not consistent. People who are cowardly. People who are deceptive. I cannot stand them. And that is why I hate Fulani Janjaweed. Tomorrow morning we'll continue the propagation of this very gospel. I thank you all for listening tonight, for your immense contributions. I thank our mothers in the USA, our liaison officers. As I'm thanking the mothers, I'm thanking their husbands as well for this very amazing work. Because they know that every dime you contribute to IPOB goes to that same thing you contributed it for. They understand that. That is why we are strong. We are building our own weapons. I don't depend on any idiot from anywhere. Where is the where is the money that Ojukwu gave you to go and buy weapons? There was a turbulence on the sea, and the canoe capsized, and everything fell off. The zoo must fall. It's not even a promise. It is a testament. It must fill the water. The zoo is gone already anyway. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back here again in the morning.